Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare.
Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to First Cut Live. We are back on a very special Monday night. I'm here with the full crew. Sabrina and RB3 are in the house. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here celebrating with y'all.
Yeah, happy to be here as well. And RB3, what are we celebrating today, man? What are you so happy about right now?
Oh man, it's a big day. Big day, y'all. Big day. Hold up. Let me cut the intro music because we're gonna have a little fun, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Celebration time, you know. 7K.
What are we celebrating, man? What are we doing?
You new to the show? Thank you to all the new subscribers. Everybody new who's coming in. We just hit 7,000, baby. Let's go!
Oh.
Woo! It's on and cracking. Hold up.
Oh, hey.
It's on. You know, I feel like we gotta shout ourselves out for making this happen. You know, I mean, it was just us. You know, like no corporation, no like big money, no Russian money, no like weird, kind of influencer kind of thing happening. Like it's just us doing it. And I feel like we've gone to the up next level. So, I mean, I have some thanks, but before I get into the thanks, actually, let me make sure we live first. Like, is anybody? Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah, I think I see Wiley.
Wiley's there. He's popping. Wiley's popping. Yo, shout out to Wiley. Oh, first of all, shout out our members too. Again, our members, Wiley Todd, one of our members. The other homie, Ray Tabin, our other member. 7K subscribers and 7 people watching. That's a good figure. But Wiley Todd with the super chat. Thank you, Wiley. 7K is amazing. Well deserved as well, my friends. Day one fans. You've been day one, homie. You've been day one. And Wiley Todd kicking it off right because we're celebrating heavy today. We are going pure heavy right now.
It's a Monday night, bro.
It's a Monday night, but it's
Get my tequila. 1 second.
Look, man, look, I'm just putting it out there, y'all. It's the hen dog season, you know what I'm saying? We dry January's done. It's Black History Month. You dig what I'm saying? So every super chat we get, we getting lit up in here, y'all. Let's get it. I know, Andres, you dry, so you ain't gotta partake. Sabrina might.
Yeah, I'm driving right now, y'all.
Good.
No one told me about this until right now, so here we go.
Nah, look, it's up. You already know. Cheers. Chink.
Cheers.
Hey.
Yeah,
so thank you, Wiley.
Y'all.
Thank you, Wiley. It's gonna be a fun night. Woo.
Yeah, 7,000. Give me a random highlight, Sabrina. Something that you're either proud of that you did on the channel, or something that you really liked that maybe someone else did on the channel. Anything like that.
Oh my God. Obviously, I could say so much. The first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is that stretch in 2019 when we would get together. We'd be at Collider Studio and we were just like filming back to back videos because we were only going in one time a week. So every review, every single video that came out, we were filming that all in one sitting. And so that was really fun. And then honestly, even the grind, like early pandemic, we were all sitting here, we were watching whatever was coming out, everything that was coming straight to streaming, any screeners we would get, we would still sit around and talk about it. So obviously we're getting back to that level now, and I'm just really excited for everything that's coming next.
Hell yeah. RB3, tell me something, man.
I mean, we have multiple highlights. I mean, shout out to all the infamy. I mean, there's so many celebrities who will probably never have on this podcast, Quentin Tarantino, I feel like
that's my fault.
It's like, I feel like QT, we never gonna book an interview, which is good, FQT.
I don't want to talk about him anyway.
Right. I think QT's a done deal. I feel like maybe James Gunn might be a done deal, even though I love James Gunn, I love Superman and I love Peacemaker. So, You know, maybe one day we'll get James Gunn on the show. But I probably said some really bad things about him in the past. And then, you know, man, but we've had a lot of highlights too. You know what I'm saying? I know I shouted them out during our last celebration, but homie Josh Trank, you know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting for his comeback. He's due a comeback. He's a good filmmaker. You know what I mean? A lot of friends over the years. Okay, hold up, y'all. My bad. Hold up. I'm feeling this too much. It's party time right now, y'all. My bad. Y'all keep talking,
what?
Full screen it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey.
Oh, where's that full screen? Hold up, where we at?
Hey.
Oh, nope, ain't happening. Oop. Okay, look at me, DJ. Look at it. That's why you don't DJ things. No. Shout out to all the homies who we've had on the show. Lindsay Ellis, Mark Ellis. Gosh, we've had a lot of celebrities. Adam Halavic.
Scott Mans.
Yeah.
We have had so many people, especially, again, going back to that 2020, really, like, we brought on so many people throughout that time.
That was the golden era.
Yeah, shout out all our stuff we've done. I'm really happy, obviously, with not just what we did in the past, but what we're doing now. I gave RB3 a shout out through text. I really like that On the Nature of Daylight, I think is what it's called, that song, that video you put out. I loved all the reviews you guys have done. We're killing it, man. We're doing good. RB3, you're putting out some great stuff too, and I know you're working on that site, man. It's big stuff.
It's coming. We're great tease. You know what I'm saying? Because hopefully by this time next week we'll be officially launching our very own website. You know what I'm saying? Enough of this fugazi, you know, just doing nothing on YouTube for nothing. No, we putting our content somewhere, you know, for the people and, you know, for the world to see. You know, maybe go on some Rotten Tomatoes or something, get to the next level or something. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, so we're taking everything up. We're taking over YouTube. YouTube's already, I feel like we already won YouTube. We're at 7K subscribers, y'all. We 7K strong. 7K, you know? So next step, our next voyage is website and also TikTok. We'll see us on TikTok. I wanted to do a TikTok live today, but I know I wanted to play copyrighted music too, and I just knew that wasn't gonna fly. YouTube is like, we might get demonetized. On TikTok, we might get banned for life. So not trying out on TikTok. But next week, we'll be on TikTok live. We got our merch. Merch is in the top of the description. We got big things coming. And sorry, I just want to say one more thanks to all of the people who are like not celebrities who've been on our shows, because we've had a lot of just friends who have like hopped on too, you know? So like I was just texting my dog Dylan right before the stream. Dylan's one of the best homies I got right now. Always bringing me to the premieres, to the IMAX 70mm showings. Dylan's the homie. He's been on the show mad times and been on the channel mad times. Cade Hughesby, one of my dog's dogs from day one. Cade has been on a bajillion times as well. We did a whole Peacemaker recap series together. That was fun. We had a whole show in here, Netflix Roulette, that's available to members only. So if you're a member, you got access to all episodes of Netflix Roulette. And yeah, we just, man, Cade, Dylan, of course, John Marin, who I do Real Ones with. He's always on the stream too. But I mean, that's just a given. And, you know, to all the fan bases that have tapped in just off of Real Ones, like we got a bunch of Prince fans who just randomly show up to First Cut now. Like we just got emailed the other day, like Prince is doing an 35th annual. I'm like, oh shit, okay. So we actually like, you know, getting in the Prince community. And then and the Delroy Lindo fans have been coming in strong too. Like the Delroy Lindo fans have been like,
this is the place to be.
This is the place to be. You know what I'm saying? If we could all unite around hating Tarantino and loving Delroy Lindo, like that's the best kind of fan base in Hollywood. So, you know,
that's exactly right. It, man. That's what we're cooking up right here. That specific market right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're tapped into. I want to give a quick shout out, obviously, to the chat. Surge Sauce in the chat says Sabrina and RB3 is making me miss those early SEN live days. Ace, I still think about your Star Wars run from the time of the Schmeltdown. Incredible. Yeah, shout out Surge Sauce, man. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. What days? Oh my gosh. Oh, the Schmodown. Oh, I'm getting nostalgic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Crazy.
I don't even know what to say. Like,
I'm like, I hated competing, but I love to be partying with y'all after all the films. Like, that was my favorite thing.
It was a lot of pressure. There was a lot of pressure. I remember that. Yeah. I definitely remember that. Yeah, I one of these days get it back into it, man. I got to get back into it. So I still think I can do okay in the Star Wars division. So we'll see. You never know.
Oh my God. Your run was so electric. I remember I was in Chicago because it was like May 2020 when you were just, that's when you kind of just started crushing through the competition. That was so fun. I remember I was just like sitting there getting so hype every single time.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I had a blast, and everyone who competed there, obviously, shout out to them. I appreciate all of them. I think they've all been on Sabak the Block. So, that's a quick announcement I can do, right? Sabak the Block live on Thursdays. We're still going to be live this Thursday, and it's a new channel. So if you don't know, Sabak the Block is a brand new channel. I think we have like 9 subscribers right now.
13, baby, 13.
13. Hey, we're growing.
Right, that's the next one that's going to hit 7K.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to Sabak the Block. It's a new Star Wars channel that we got cooking up. And speaking of which, we got Crystal Kyber in the chat. What is up, Crystal? She was on, I believe, 2 weeks ago. For anyone who doesn't know, she was also on our Rebels panel, and she's amazing. So make sure you guys follow Crystal Kyber's channel as well. She does a lot of cool Star Wars makeup and Star Wars conversations in general. Just really cool stuff. So,
go ahead. I also want to say, and speaking of Sabak the Block, we also got to give a special thanks to Emma Fife as well. Emma Fife.
Oh, yeah.
One of our OG, the OG, triple OG in Sabak the Block. And we got a lot of great episodes of her, man. You know what I'm saying? And she really contributed a lot to the beginnings of Sabak, you know. And I feel like still the best Star Wars show on YouTube.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And obviously, shout out to her. It's crazy, man. Jedi Council... for like 5 minutes. That was a wild time, and I think that's around the time that Sabrina was coming in, or she was there. Yeah. So shout out Emma and everything she's doing right now. Obviously, she's killing it in her own right. So, all right, let's jump to some of the topics that I don't even know if we're going to talk about. At the rate we're going. Obviously, big one, Sundance is happening right now. We're not necessarily super tapped in, to be fully honest, but we are going to be tapped in. I think the issue with like tapping in and stuff with like Sundance is like last week, Sundance specifically was so inconsequential to the rest of the world that I think the vast majority of us, not just like us, but like film Twitter and film fans were just like, why would I talk about movies right now when everything around us is burning? So that's why we're not super tapped in. But one thing I will say real quick is that the biggest buzz right now that I'm seeing from every article I've looked up is the new Channing Tatum movie called Josephine, which is about, I guess, like this like jock dad and his daughter gets into some stuff. And that's kind of the basic, super general description I have. But apparently it's incredible. And apparently Channing Tatum is incredible in it. So shout out Channing Tatum.
Truly. I honestly think he's a really underrated gem. I think he stepped into a lot of roles that probably wouldn't even work for most people. Even something like Magic Mike. I know it's like silly and it's fun, but he brings so much depth to the character throughout those films. And so even then you're actually going into it and you're like, these are super fun, especially XXL. I think that one's great. Even the 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Streets, like those are hilarious. And if somebody else tried to take on being that like silly, fun jock type of role, I just think he's made for something like that. I can't wait to see him in this one.
Yeah. How are you feeling about Channing Tatum getting love RB3 so far?
I love Channing Tatum. This has nothing to do with Channing. I'm looking forward to that movie. Sundance is not relevant because they don't know how to pick movies. Okay, that's just what it comes down to.
Hot take.
They used to be a festival for independent filmmakers, independent creators, new voices who are trying to make it in the industry and shine out. And now it's become a celebrity off. You know, like, and now we're at an era where independent films actually can't break through into Sundance. AI, my film. Quarter Life Crisis, you know, like we applied to Sundance, didn't get in. Actually, I applied to Sundance multiple times. I get it. You know, it's tough. This is the top tier one. But you know, Quarter Life Crisis is different. That's a great film. There ain't nothing coming out these festivals that's entertaining, that's engaging, that's funny, that's real. You know what I'm saying? So now that all of this, now look, they got to sell tickets. You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to be celebrities, you know, big studio, basically studio films, like before they become studio films, like it's basically some back end thing. Like, you know, these production companies are like, hey, I'm going to make it independent. And then these studios are going to buy it on the back end for big money, you know, but they already have those deals arranged pre-Sundance. They just want to see how the buzz is going to go and how much to buy it for. And it's a crooked system. I'm not vibing with it. So that's my personal hen dog fueled rant against Sundance.
At least the film that we're talking about, Josephine, I think it really is one of those. This is a brand new female filmmaker.
Yep,
And
first time.
so at least, you know, the one we are talking about, the standout of Sundance, is an actual true independent film. So that's exciting.
Yeah. It's an independent film, but it stars Channing Tatum. So it's like, you know, it's like we can't get nothing that's like really independent. Like, I'm just thinking about the days of like Clerks. I'm thinking about like the days of like true independent 90s cinema, you know, Tarantino, I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? But even like stuff when he did Reservoir Dogs, like none of them guys was names. I guess Harvey Keitel was a bit of a name, you know what I'm saying? But most of
I mean, they had a couple names in there, yeah.
You know?
It is hard. And obviously the cast is so important nowadays. People always want to put a face in front of the film and try to market it that way. I just feel like the biggest thing for me will always be filmmakers, like what you're saying, RB3. Trust filmmakers, first-time directors, first-time applicants for Sundance. That's really where the sauce is made, and I feel like that'll be the biggest thing. And hopefully in the future they start to do that a little bit more. And I don't know where the future of Sundance is going to be. Obviously, they're moving away from Utah, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, Sundance will cook something up that is a little bit more. I don't know, extreme low budget and something that they can promote a little more. And I think that'd be cool.
Like, where's the Blair Witch Project? You know what I mean? Like something that's like a no budget, nothing that just pops out of nowhere. But anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil our reign on talking about the fun movies that come out of Sundance. But it's like Quarter Life Crisis, you know what I'm saying? Hates, you know, even like other movies that I'm involved with is like, man, it's like, come on, man, these are great films, you know? Like, and it sucks that you got to go to like, you know, sometimes for me personally, for example, when we did Timestamp, we went to the Black festivals and got a lot of our love there, like Pan African Film Festival, which is honestly just as big, if not bigger of a festival than Sundance, but it just doesn't get the same critical, you know, or the same, you know, journalistic prowess and stuff like that. So anyway, all that, I'm not hating. It's the hen dog talking, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's just like, man, we gotta, you know, one day I'll be there. One day we'll be there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure. 100%. And yeah, looking forward to eventually seeing that happen, because it will happen. So let's move on to our next topic, which again, it'll be super brief.
Wait. No. If y'all actually have movies to talk about, like, don't let me like.
Oh no, that was it.
Fun.
No, that was genuinely. We didn't really keep up with that.
Okay. Because look, I don't want to be a mood killer. I came in last week with Travis Scott sound bites and all kinds of fun stuff, but then when y'all started talking about murder, I cut it back, you know? So don't do that on my account, you know? So that's all I'm saying.
Hey, man, I had to do it, bro. I had to be real. I'm always be real, bro. You're being real right now. Yeah. But speaking of being real, we could talk about this for like 2 minutes, but the new Melania Trump documentary came out.
Oh my God. I saw it. It was so good, guys. The theater was packed.
Oh, I thought you were being dead ass.
The theater was packed. Everybody was just so excited.
For a second,
Everybody
I was like,
dressed
damn,
up
what?
like Melania. Could you imagine? No, I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me to do it just because, like,
no.
I'm not going to sit in a room with people that paid money to see it. You know what I mean? It's not even about the movie itself. It's about the people that are paying.
Apparently, not a lot of people in that room. Too many screens and definitely not enough people. But one thing I will say, and this is, I mean, at this point, this show is just wacky out the wall anyways. I got to give a shout out to the Internet Today guys who covered this in their last episode. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, Saturday or Sunday's episode. And they talked about it for like a good 15 minutes and they roasted the shit out of it. It's so funny. So I highly recommend checking that out. But yeah, not a good timing for this movie to come out, specifically for what came out that same weekend, with the director of this movie being a literally a confirmed pedophile. So yeah,
Pork Fountain Kitchen.
Wild.
Like we already knew he was a sex pest. We already know her husband's a sex pest. We know everybody they surround themselves with is. So I guess it's like, is there ever even really good timing? But that was the worst timing they could have possibly imagined.
Yeah, wild times we're living in, man. This is crazy.
Wild times. I actually have Brett Ratner is so funny. Like, and he made that full right wing grift. Yo, shout out to somebody in the chat who said too, we didn't make a right wing grift. You're so right. We never did. Like, we never became one of those toxic Star Wars fans. We never like started hating women. You know what I'm saying? Like, we never had to pop. We never had to do that to pop to 7K. Okay, there's a lot of people who do that, and we're not one of them people. But speaking of right wing grifts, I do have a clip from Brett Ratner and his thoughts on liberals.
For a few people that asked to not be credited on the movie. Were you aware of any of those conversations?
That. You know, the truth is, all my crew, the key crew, the main crew, we picked up a lot of crew people because we shot in Washington, D.C. We shot in, hold on, let me answer. Yeah. We shot in Washington, D.C. We shot in New York, and we shot in Florida. So we pick up day players. So I understand if a liberal is working on the movie and they don't want to be credited, but they want to feed their family. I don't blame anybody for that. I don't know who didn't want to be a part of it, but I wasn't aware of it. But I learned about it when I read it. Thank you.
For one, he got the you could tell there's clearly like a female like PR person who's like, hey, don't talk about this. He's like, hey, shut up, I'm talking. Like, whoa, hold up.
I mean, he's been a piece of shit in Hollywood for years, man. If anyone knows anything about Hollywood, the insides of how it works and word spreads around, he's been a piece of shit since 2000. So this is nothing new. He's just confirmed to be even more of that. So
yeah.
Wild.
And the thing is, I feel like I don't know, because obviously I don't spend any time reading up about any of these people, especially if things aren't important, like actual news. But obviously Brett Ratner is set to direct, what's it called? The tequila's already, Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
Because obviously Trump's besties, the Ellisons, are there. I think maybe him directing this one was kind of like, oh, and you're also going to do Rush Hour. I got you, like, got your back. So, you know, people like this stick together. Obviously, he's a piece of shit. This movie, best movie of all time, huge crowds. We love Melania.
Yeah, it's pretty wild when when the same administration that is like doing the most horrific shit we've seen in this country is now like really just like trying to promote their lavish lifestyle as a marketing tool. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's wild, but something else dropped today that I think is a little bit more interesting and is going to get a lot of buzz.
Wait. Can I say one more thing about the Melania Box Office thing? I love how all the headlines, like there's some headlines that are just like hilarious, right? Like, I don't know if y'all saw the Rolling Stones, how they kind of like tweeted their headline. It was like, Melania proved all the stupid losers wrong and made a bunch of money at the box office. And they're clearly just searching for like a Trump retweet or something, or like a MAGA retweet. And it's like, but it's like the Rolling Stones, so you clearly know like they're kind of trolling a little bit. Same with I think Deadline did it too. I think Deadline was like, Melania overperforms with excellent performance, saying no to the naysayers. Is like, okay, like at least like some people are clicking into how absolutely R word, I don't want to say, you know, the word, but you know, pretty close to, you know, going full R word on that MAGA is. So it's like they're like right there, you know. So
also the thing is, like, obviously documentaries don't really get wide releases like this. So we don't typically see a lot of documentaries outside of like a concert film like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour or something like that, really racking in like millions of dollars. So it's like, okay, that's a really bad turnout technically, like for who she is, for how high profile she is for the wide release, but it is higher than most documentaries get. But then on top of it, you remember the budget was literally like what, like 5 times what it just made opening weekend.
70
Her
million.
alone, I think she got like $28 million to star in this movie, just fully a bribe. So no matter what, it will never be considered an actual success because I don't care if it like made more than a typical documentary does. It's in wide release and you spent an arm and a leg to make it, so you're not getting that money back ever.
Yeah, it's all cap. Overinflated budget. That's just ridiculous. Like the most expensive documentary film, like of all time. That's not a like super nature documentary
Also,
or whatever.
the most boring person in the entire world. Like, when do we ever hear her say more than like 5 words in one sentence? Like, truly, it's just probably her like walking from room to room, and then the trailer gets me every single time. She's like, "You wanted to know, so here it is." Who wanted to know, and what did they want to know, and what are we about to see? Like, what is it is like it? I can't.
Place the clip.
Yeah.
That's how they be. But not
It's literally the same scene. You wanted to know.
You wanted to know.
So here it is.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. We can definitely move on from that.
But-
Something. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I just wanted to say, F Jeff Bezos for even paying for this piece of dog crap too. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
he's also like, evil.
I
so.
really, on a serious note, I really do implore every single person to delete whatever they can, unsubscribe to whatever you can. If you don't need Amazon Prime, if you don't need Amazon, I've never had an Amazon account. I don't need it. I'm going to walk to a store and I'll find whatever I need to find. Do it if you can. I understand if you can't. And some people like, you know, fast shipping on things, like it's very helpful, but just get rid of as much, hurt their pockets as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter what, but we can try.
For sure. Something that came out today that I don't think I wasn't expecting was the new Michael Jackson trailer, a new trailer for a film that is coming out this year. And RB3, you wanted to do a live reaction to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I still got to put out the most anticipated video as well. But yeah, that's definitely one of my most anticipated. I love I love Michael Jackson if he's guilt free of all the things he's accused of. If things are not guilty, then we'll see. But I'd just like to point out that the fact that the FBI investigated the homie and they couldn't find anything. So I'm putting that out there. Okay, that's my perspective. I know the HBO doc says something. But again, it's HBO, there's money. That's all I gotta say on that. But anyway, as a musician, I love Michael Jackson, and this movie's gonna be crazy. The cast is crazy. Coleman Domingo as Joe Jackson, gonna get a little abusive. Nia Lone as the mother. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. But anyway, I'm so hyped. And I just wanted to do a trailer reaction. I haven't seen the trailer yet, so I don't know if y'all seen it yet.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
I did.
I haven't seen. Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, y'all down to watch it together?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Bet. Let's tap in. Before I tap in, Joseph Weeks OG said, "I wonder what RB3's indigenous white man thinks of the Melania doc." Well, Melania Trump is one of the finest American figures ever to set foot
Classy.
off of off of the Russian prostitution ships. I mean, she's really, truly one of the finest whores you could find across the 7 seas. And somehow she ended up in the White House. What a fascinating exploration. She allegedly met Trump on the Epstein's boat. Oh, wow. I mean, there's nothing fishy about that situation at all. I wonder if they're going to touch on that in the documentary. I will be there opening weekend.
Damn.
That's RB3's indignant white man, But yeah. All right, Michael trailer. All right, here we go.
You're confident. You're strong. You're beautiful. You're the greatest of all time.
Okay, he looked like Michael Jackson. He looking like him.
Something. In this life, y'all the winner.
He looks evil.
Yeah, no, for real.
Y'all want to work in the steel
He got
mill
the-
like me
ooh.
for the rest of your days?
Some sideburns.
Yeah, because I sure as hell don't.
Some Jackson 5.
Y'all
Oh, you
wanna
getting the whole
fight for it?
life.
Yes, sir. I need to hear you a little louder. Y'all willing to fight for it? Yes, sir.
Ready whenever you are, Michael.
Dang. Jafar Jackson. Okay, Bohemian Rhapsody.
You know what I'm after?
You want to be the biggest star in the world?
Off the Wall. Miles Teller.
Capitalize on Michael's success. Because the Jackson family.
Okay, we getting some Thriller stuff.
And we need to start selling. So I'm planning an international tour. This is just the beginning.
Okay, God. Ooh.
I need to think.
I told you what to think.
We can call it wicked right there, Coleman.
But I just want to do my own thing. Just have all these ideas in my head.
Oh, you sound like Michael.
Gotta get them out.
Then do it, Michael. Not a little boy anymore.
Michael, I knew you were different the moment you were born. You have a very special life.
You see the monkey.
I believe music can change the world. Spread love, joy, and peace.
Oh,
That is what
the
I want the
Pepsi
world to
incident.
feel.
Yeah. Oh, we seen some Thriller.
Magic.
Oh, it's going crazy. Oh man, and IMAX too. And IMAX. Okay, all right, y'all. I'm hyped. What y'all think? What y'all think?
Should I go first? Coleman Domingo, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like this is like the first time we've seen him as Joe. He looks evil, like truly. You could just, it's the brows and the face and everything. Like, you know, they're going to get into that. But that second half, really, like the costuming and everything was super stunning. So I'm very hesitant about this one because I feel like this story is so large. And I do know there was talks that it was supposed to be originally like a part 1 and part 2, if I'm not mistaken. And now I think it's just going to be one, unless I'm wrong, correct me. But there's a lot to cover. And I think going back to even what you said in the beginning before we started the trailer, like his story, like just looking at his career, his life, I think for a lot of people in our generation, I think it's really hard to fathom because we don't have an equivalent. Even as popular as somebody thinks like a Taylor Swift is, he would make people just pass out just by looking in their direction from hundreds of feet away. Like his star power is something that I'm really excited to see how it gets captured on screen. Obviously, we're seeing all these glimpses. It's looking semi-promising. I feel like there's so much hype that they have to live up to. So that's the only thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, there's a lot there. I'm super curious to see how they're going to handle it. Are they going to tap into more of the emotional side? Are they going to kind of sympathize with a lot of moments? Obviously, I'm sure they will. But there's also like an element of like, you know, this is Lionsgate wanting to make a concert movie. Like people want to hear Billie Jean, people want to hear Thriller, and they want to see the moment where he makes the music video, where like iconic stuff that people would want to see in a Michael Jackson movie. So how do you balance those elements? It's tough. And obviously the controversy, I don't even know if they're going to get into it, but I'm curious to see how they'll balance all that.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to definitely be like straightforward biopic of like Jackson 5, personal life and that turmoil and rise to fame. And I think we're not going to get a lot of that like later, or at least from what I'm seeing from this trailer. And Joseph Ashley said, Taylor Swift's not even close to Michael Jackson, not even Beyonce. That's exactly what I'm saying. There's no equivalent. There's nobody, even as much as we think these people have so much like star power, they're still not even like a fraction of what he had. So balancing that in this film, it's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very curious to see how they handle it. Like, there's screenshots like this one is just like, for one, gosh, dang, he looked just like Michael Jackson. Like, I'm glad they, you know, sometimes I kind of roll my eyes at casting a relative, but if it's somebody as big as Michael Jackson, like, I don't want to see the Michael B. Jordan and version of Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of do want to see somebody that looks like him, especially like we go to Hollywood Boulevard and see like 80 different impressions of Michael Jackson. Like, yeah, I kind of want to see somebody that like kind of embodies him. I mean, that crowd. I mean, I remember my mom would talk about how, you know, Mike would come to LA and just the whole blocks, like almost entire city blocks would be like almost entire cities would be blocked off because he was moving like the president. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how many people would come out just to see Michael Jackson. It was just a different time, different time in pop culture. And I'm just excited to see how they capture that. Oh man, like y'all mentioned, Coleman Domingo. Look at him just looking evil. Oh my God, look at him. Like, I'm scared right here just looking at this screenshot. Like, Jesus, like, don't hurt me, Unc. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's crazy because Coleman Domingo, to me, he's one of the most, like, the warmest presence on screen and in real life. Like, I don't know if I've talked about it here, but I got to hang out with Coleman Domingo for a very good chunk of time, not just like a little meet and greet. I was chatting with him and he charmed me. I was like, literally like googly eyes for him. He is just the sweetest, kindest presence. So for him to tap into like this other level, crazy. And then who's the relative that's playing Michael? Sorry, again, the tequila.
Yeah, no, that's Jafar Jackson, who is
Jafar Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson's nephew. Yeah.
And I think with that, and going back to what you were saying, my biggest thing for any biopic is I don't care for somebody to do an impression. I want to see them embody the most important traits. It's great that he looks like him. It's great that he's going to have that energy. Not you with the pineapple Henny. I already know. Yeah. It's great that he looks like him, but I think most importantly, he really just needs to embody his spirit and his presence. And so as long as he captures that, I think that, he's doing it justice.
Yeah, no,
sure.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
You gonna say?
I was gonna say, are his vocals too? Is that his vocals?
So that's I think those are his vocals, like saying the lines. I think they're gonna use the OG Michael Jackson tracks for the singing. It's funny because I've been shooting my shot at everybody trying to see his movie early. You know what I'm saying? Lionsgate, everybody. So they send me a lot of these images and stuff y'all see. Shout out to them. They actually sent these through. You know what I'm saying? I had seen this screenshot. I actually saw this screenshot, and I literally thought, like, did they just take a real photo? Like, is this a real photo or something? Like, what's going on? I mean, gosh dang, he looks so good. And then apparently some reports are indicating that, even it's like a family affair. So even like people like Janet Jackson are like on set. Janet Jackson in her own right is a phenomenal actress. Like, there's a lot of movies that Poetic Justice, a lot of movies that,
always,
yeah. She's phenomenal. So, the fact that maybe she's also kind of maybe coaching him a little bit on set. Antoine Fuqua, you got to remember, he directed Denzel in Training Day. Like, one of the greatest performances in recent history. He's directed a lot of great performances. So Antoine Fuqua, Coleman Domingo, Nia Long as oh man, why I keep forgetting Mama's name? Oh my gosh, why am I forgetting Mama's name? But she's looking great in there as well. Catherine Jackson, of course. She's looking great in there as well. I mean, yeah, the whole cast. This is literally one of my most anticipated movies in a long time. I mean, listen, it can be the most by the numbers standard biopic. I think they said there's going to be like 20 something songs in this movie. Like, how are you going to have 20 something songs in one movie? I have no idea. If it's literally just like a 2-hour music video, I don't care. This is the one movie I'm going to like give that pass to. Like, just fine, give me the music video. I don't care. If it's a music video with like some good acting in between, I'm kind of here for that,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I think. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, biopics, these types of situations, Oscars give them that love, especially for something like makeup and hairstyling. Again, seeing the fact that, of course, to make him Michael, they had to do a lot there. So even though he does, obviously he's family and he looks like him. Miles Teller, Coleman Domingo, like we're saying, it is really interesting to see how they're going to utilize all these prosthetics throughout the years, especially because, we're seeing glimpses right now, but this is going from Jackson 5 to later in his career. So even Coleman Domingo's look is going to change throughout the film. He's going to get older. And so that also really excites me from just like makeup, hairstyling, costuming. I think those are always like some of my favorite aspects of any biopic. And I mean, the costuming looks really good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's definitely a highlight from the trailer for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The costuming looks phenomenal. The cinematography looks great. I also think that, oh man, I literally lost my thought just that quick. I'm so sorry. But It's from producer Graham King, who did Bohemian Rhapsody, or was the producer on Bohemian Rhapsody. So, look, I think this movie does have a good potential for like awards consideration. Sabrina, like you said, it really just depends on, how good it is. I mean, it just really depends on the quality, right? With other musical biopics of like recent memory, there haven't been a lot of good ones. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. There aren't a lot of great music biopics. But what I was gonna say, sorry, I just remember what I was gonna say. The most interesting part of the trailer to me was when they showed Michael Jackson coming out on the stretcher, and then he looked like wrapped up. Of course, if you know Michael Jackson lore, that is the famous Pepsi concert incident where like the light fell on his head, or some fire like fell on his head, and his hair caught on fire. And ultimately, that is the moment that he got addicted to painkillers, which was what killed him ultimately with the morphine and the propofol. So it's just very fascinating that they look like they're touching on all the big details in Michael's life. I know Joseph Ashley was talking about will they address the controversy. Again, I think I talked about this on Real Ones. The controversy, it looks like they probably edited it out, or they're maybe doing it for like a part 2 situation. I remember when we were at CinemaCon, Sabrina, they showed a version of the trailer. And the trailer that they're showing here is pretty different than what they showed at CinemaCon too, granted. But the version they showed at CinemaCon, it did look like he was walking out of the courthouse with like the umbrella on. It looked like we saw some shots of like a courthouse kind of situation. I think the original version of the movie, they did have that, but they had to push it back because of like legal issues and stuff. People are saying that this maybe is a 2-parter, like you said, Sabrina. If they do address it, maybe it's in like a part 2 type of situation. But if it's like I don't think we're going to see any addressing it in this movie, personally.
Especially with like working with the family. I feel like a lot of the times when we see, like even in Bohemian Rhapsody or anything else, like any controversies are kind of swept under the rug. Straight Outta Compton, same one with like Dr. Dre. You never get into any of that. So it's kind of expected to me, but I would not be against potentially seeing them tackle that in a part 2, like we said, and especially later career stuff.
Yeah, it's very tricky, but I would prefer if they did, to be honest. I think it would work. So, speaking of controversy, RB3, you wanted to talk about this. Talk to me about what's going on with the Safdie brothers.
Oh man. Okay, y'all. So, this one isn't just the movie news story, okay? This one right here is a controversy that involves sex, minors, boom operators, broken egos, and a fractured familial bond. This is the type of Hollywood story smear job that you would only see in like the sleaziest, greasiest writers from like the 1900s yellow journalism era. You know what I'm saying? But guess what, y'all? We have it here on First Cut, and I'm crazy. I'm not saying I'm hyped to talk about it because I don't know what's true or what's not true, but it is like, whoa, this is like the craziest kind of smear. I don't know if it's a smear, maybe it's real, but this coming out right around Oscar time is like, wow, the time is crazy. So if you don't know about this Josh Safdie situation, as people who are like Safdie Brothers fans know, the Safdie brothers, before pre-breakup, they are big fans of using non-professional actors on their films. People who have not acted before and people who are just like off the streets and they just like kind of find or whatever. One guy who they had worked with previously in the past is this guy named Buddy Duress. Now, Buddy Duress, he was a more prominent role in their first feature film, Heaven Can Wait. He was a much more prominent role in their first film together, playing the kind of abusive boyfriend to the main character in that film. But in their big standout film, Good Time, Buddy Duress was also starred in that. He's also a non-professional actor. According to lore, according to legend, he's a guy who had been in and out of prison for multiple crimes. He's kind of known as like a real notorious kind of criminal in New York, like downtown New York. And unfortunately, he has one of the most memorable scenes in Good Time. I don't know if y'all remember this scene right here.
After doing 2 years in jail, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen, man? I'm gonna want a fucking drink. Right away, I'm getting a bottle of brandy, and I'm already practically broke with the little money that was left in my account. So I call my boy Khalid. He comes through with some more liquor and some sticks of Xanax. My brother. He takes some sticks, I take some sticks. And by now, we're all fucked up, and I'm just feeling so good that I don't even give a fuck.
So that was that guy. So
which one?
The main guy who's telling that story, Buddy, you know what I'm saying? So, and he ends up coming in the second half of Good Time, and he's basically like the co-star of the film during the second half of the film. Honestly, kind of incidentally, right after Benny Safdie's character kind of departs, his character kind of becomes like the co-lead. So the story goes that this guy, Buddy Duress, during the filming of that montage sequence that we just saw, there was a scene where him and that other bald dude were like procurating prostitutes or whatever. And again, Josh Safdie likes to use non-professional actors. Apparently he got some young ladies who were really like on the streets.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it wasn't Josh Safdie. It was the producer who was Emrata's husband that actually found this girl on Instagram. And then, so at the time, allegedly for the story, just to cut this in, no, like Josh Safdie and Benny Safdie did not know that she was underage. It doesn't change too much about this. Obviously, all of this is still unethical, but they did not know that she was underage.
Right. Yeah, they did. So yeah, exactly. They didn't know she was underage. They didn't know exactly for the scene that they were getting, but for the scene, you know, she was playing a prostitute or something. And then in the scene, unscripted, out of nowhere, this Buddy guy just pulls out his meat and just like exposes himself to her. You know what I'm saying? And you know, according to the lore, Josh Safdie, during the filming of Good Time, he was kind of seen as like the de facto leader on set. If you kind of been on a set where there's like two directors, you kind of know the dynamic. Like usually there's one that's like a little bit more forward facing, who talks to the crew a lot, or talks to the cast and like kind of runs the show a little bit more. And usually there's somebody who's like a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more like interacting with the crew, and a little bit more like kind of quieter calling the shots in that sense, but then they probably step up in like bigger ways in pre-production, post-production. You know how that goes. It's just a typical co-director thing. Anyway, Josh Safdie was apparently the de facto leader on set. And when the cameras are rolling for this scene, when Buddy exposed himself, there wasn't like an immediately like a call cut. They actually kept this scene rolling. They kept it going. And it wasn't until after that scene was filmed, it actually wasn't until post-production that they learned that the young lady in that sequence was underaged. So on set, they didn't know. You know, they, like you said, the producers had casted this young lady, and the scene was ultimately cut from the film. As you saw in the clip, you know, they didn't show any kind of scene like that. So it was a situation that had become a dust up during post. They had kind of let it slip under the rug. But the story ended up becoming another story, like it ended up becoming public in 2023. So in 2023, they're in pre-production to do another film with Adam Sandler, because in between that time, Dad did Uncut Gems, which is one of our favorite films that we've all seen. And they were developing another project with Adam Sandler in late 2022, early 2023. That film ended up falling apart, allegedly, and the reports say, because the Good Time story was becoming public, and Benny Safdie was really pissed off about it. Now, I didn't mention Josh Safdie they say he was the leader on set. Benny Safdie was holding the boom mic, like in the corner, basically, like, and he didn't speak up either. So, you know, again, it's like a very tricky, like, who was really running things, who should he have spoke up, should he have not have spoke up? It's like, you know, we don't really know like the interpersonal situations of it, but allegedly, according to this story, this is why Benny Safdie and Josh Safdie broke up and split separate ways, and why one made Smash Machine, one made Marty Supreme. Cut to 2025 or 2026. The story is coming back around. I forgot the site that originally started it, but eventually big publications like People Magazine started reporting on it. Salon started reporting on it. Surprisingly, big outlets started like talking about it. And now Timothée Chalamet's team is getting kind of upset about this. Like, they're kind of wondering, is this a smear job that came out of nowhere? Like, you know, is this going to hurt Timothée Chalamet's chances for winning Best Actor? it's like a lot of these situations are kind of like up in the air. I don't know about you guys. And I believe all victims. And unfortunately, it's kind of really hard to even get the full truth because Buddy Duress did end up dying in November 2023 from a heroin overdose. The young lady, I believe her name is still like anonymous. So like, you know, we don't really have any ways to like get details from her. And obviously Josh Safdie and Benny Safdie are like not going to speak on it publicly. But the truth is still a little bit unknown. I think the timing of it is a little inconspicuous, if I'm being honest with y'all. Like, I do think we've seen all throughout the award show history, these smear jobs, these smear tactics that just pop up kind of at the 11th hour. And this is kind of maybe smelling like a little bit of that to me. But I don't know what you guys' thoughts are. You know, yeah. What are you guys' thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I think it starts from obviously the number one problem was the producer. Unfortunately, it is a very, very fine line and sticky situation, and you have to be very careful when you are utilizing non-actors and finding people off the streets. You don't know these people's backgrounds. You don't really know what they're up to, and they do know. Obviously, they knew this guy was like in and out of jail. Obviously, you don't really know, hey, he's just gonna whip his stuff out. And then I think he said something along the lines of like, oh, let's just actually do this scene, not simulate it. I think that was another thing the actor had said to her. So I think first and foremost, his name is Sebastian Bear McClard. He was the one that was previously married to Emrata. He was the one that found her. Again, this is not good to do. Found her on Instagram, thought she was cute, hired her in the movie, allegedly might have started dating her after this film. All of this is alleged, but like it just shows like, you know, and so they broke off from working with him years prior as well. Not after the situation, which I think would be the correct thing to do. I don't know exactly when they stopped working with him, but that's the first and foremost. Second of all, I don't care if you're Benny Safdie and you're just holding a boom mic. You are still a co-director. I don't care if you're an extra on the set. Like whatever. Whoever is witnessing something like that should be speaking up. And I did not like the way the article framed necessarily like, oh, Benny was in the corner and really couldn't say anything. That's another thing that I find disrespectful. I think all of them share the blame. Josh Safdie is just as much to blame as Benny Safdie is. Benny Safdie is a co-director, even if he's running the show day-to-day wise. That doesn't necessarily mean, oh, you turn a blind eye to a situation like this. So there's just so many layers and levels to it. And obviously, again, like you said, we don't know the full truth, but even like the situation that is presented to us, lots of problems there. I have no idea in what world, because I mean, okay, this story realistically, and this is very unfortunate that this is the case, but this story dropped a week ago. And since then, after the first day, I haven't really heard people talking about it. I know that there was a Marty Supreme Q&A with Josh Safdie and Timothy Chalamet, I think the next day after this dropped, and Josh did not go to that, but he has been to other Q&As since then. So again, I'm like, my positions are, we need to ensure, and this is exactly another reason too, sorry to jump around a lot. This is another reason why I don't really like actresses kind of like touting the fact that they don't want people on set ensuring that these scenes are safe. They don't want intimacy coordinators. They're like, oh, we didn't want it. It's not just for you, and shouldn't only be up for you. It should be a standard. That way, every single person who is on this set, no matter big or small, lead role or minor character who's going to be on screen for 1 minute, they should feel safe. And so that whole precedent of just like, oh, people just want intimacy coordinators this day. But like, I think Mikey Madison said something like that on like for Honora, Sydney Sweeney said it a lot. Even Florence Pugh, I think, has said it at one point. So many people do it. And I don't understand why that would be a problem to just have an extra layer of security in these things, because it is also keeping the people behind the camera safe so that these situations don't happen. So again, you know, they're celebrated. The Safdies are celebrated a lot for their use of non-actors and actors. We have also like complimented that in their films because they're able to bring these really interesting performances out of people. But that being said, if you are going to do that, you have to be extra careful. And if you have a slimy producer, don't work with him and drop him the moment this happens, and the moment you realize, oh, she's under 18 for a nude scene. And I believe she had to get nude in that scene. So again, of course, this is scrapped because that is illegal in so many different ways. So that's the whole thing. And then the just overall, again, everybody on that set that did not say anything or stop it or protect that woman who is underage, vulnerable, just surrounded probably by a bunch of men that are way older than her. And like, that's a very uncomfortable situation to be in. They all are to blame. But Sebastian Bear McLeod, or whatever his name is, first and foremost, he should probably never work again. Like, I don't know what he's doing right now, but he definitely should not be working on a film anytime ever again.
Yeah, and like you said, it's on the Safdies as well. There's no other way to put it. Obviously, the producer is the one who organized that. But yeah, there's, like you said, Sabrina, I think I agree with everything you said. There's so many layers. It's ridiculous, the amount of layers. But at the first and foremost, top layer is obviously verifying who's working on set, regardless if they don't have a professional background. And second of all, the risk of working with non-actors, you have to measure that a lot more and take a lot more responsibility for it and be a lot more careful. I know you already mentioned them, but Sean Baker does this a lot. He works with a lot of non-actors. There's a few directors who do this. And it's something that, I don't know. I don't know if my opinion has changed on it necessarily. But I do feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a responsibility when it comes to directors choosing to go with vibes, I guess, because that's kind of what it is, to be honest. You kind of go with the vibes of the human being that you're meeting, and you place that in your film.
Sorry to interrupt, but even on set, like, they're probably just so used to letting things play out. Yeah. And that's why they're getting a lot of these performances. So their first reaction isn't even like, protect this person. They're looking at it from a filmmaking standpoint of like, oh, this is interesting shots. This is an interesting thing now. So yeah, sorry to interrupt.
But like you said, with the intimacy coordinator, anything with a sex scene, that you throw that shit out the window. You got to be responsible with that shit. Even if you are up and coming filmmakers, you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, you shouldn't even be in that room. And then on top of that, finding out that she's underage and then realizing this whole thing was literally like an off the street producer kind of thing is even more of a giant red flag. It's just a mess. And obviously, I don't necessarily think this should echo into like what you were saying now, because the bigger controversy, I guess, technically, because he's the bigger star, is Timmy. And if, you know, his team is upset and all that, I don't know if it's going to fall on him or affect him as much. Maybe. I don't think so either. And then, like you said, Sabrina, the fact that this is kind of low key, I don't want to say it's getting buried, but like I haven't heard of it. And there's a lot of people who are kind of involved who, you know, haven't really heard of it or haven't brought it up. I don't see interviewers bringing this up when it comes to press.
But okay, so, I will say though, to the interviewer's point, like, there's definitely, you know, with these things, like, we've been on the other side of these things. Like, these celebrities have a list of like questions you can't ask. Like, and I'm sure like after this thing came out, Safdie was like, yo, I'm not sitting in front of anybody who like even thinks about asking this question, you know, like.
And that's the unfortunate part too. And I think we see it a lot. And there's so much that got us to this place. I know this is a different conversation, but like you know, like the TikTok interviewers, the quippy stuff, like the really light things. It's like people are so concerned. We don't have like journalistic integrity anymore. People used to be able to ask an artist of any kind, musician, actor, whatever, difficult questions. Honestly, there were any question ever. And there were times where people would ask inappropriate questions like Barbara Walters to Britney Spears. Yeah, don't do that. But if there's an actual controversy and somebody should speak on it, even all the Sydney Sweeney stuff, nobody ever like pushes her on it ever. She gives like a non-answer and nobody goes, okay, so then why do you think that that's like, whatever, like, actually adding to the conversation. So all of that to say, yes, we are in these spaces. We're at junkets, we're at carpets. You would get in trouble if you are going to ask a complicated question to somebody. Like, you're just not going to be invited back. And then that's unfortunate because that's your job. So everybody has to play it extra safe. Not a single person is going to bring this up in a Q&A or on a carpet or anything. Absolutely. And yeah, I don't think it's going to affect Timothy because still his performance in the movie is really good and he is the front runner. I mean, if he doesn't get it, it's not the end of the world because again, this is like still the most important thing, that lessons should be learned from this. Again, like you said, Sean Baker, any actress, I don't care who you are, even if I love you like Florence Pugh, shouldn't be touting or excited about the fact that you're turning down intimacy coordinators. It's not about you because you're already very successful and you have a lot of power compared to other people. It's about the people who are either freshly starting out, the people they bring in off the streets, the people behind the camera. That's who it's for. So it always like rubs me the wrong way every single time an actor or actress or duo talk about not wanting one.
It's also like low key, like really, really old school Hollywood. The kind of like mentality of like we're just having fun. We're just play along. Yeah. Just keep going. Like that kind of attitude as far as like I have a lot of power right now. I'm paying you. What are you gonna say? Like what are you gonna do? And why wouldn't you do it? You know, we're feeling out the scene. This is the scene. And that kind of attitude of like, yeah, using your power as sexual abuse, which is what that is. So yeah, it's really scummy, to be honest.
Because even think about like going back to something as simple as Judy Garland on the set of Wizard of Oz and how an actor could slap her in the face and nobody would care. I'm so glad that we're past the time of this happening, but now we're in 2026 and we're hearing a story from just a few years ago about an underage girl having to strip nude and seeing male genitals and being proposed of like, let's have this unsimulated, which like, how are we even still at that place? So I hope that we never have to hear another story like this again. It's extremely, extremely unfortunate. Like I said, they're all to blame. I don't like the way the article was framing like the events and how it was like, this person did this person did that. And just like absolving certain people when again, it's the responsibility of every single person there. Especially if you're a co-director.
Yeah. And it kind of goes back, just echoing your first point as far as like the slap, like that's an example of the style of filmmaking, of the realism style, which is why it has to be taken care of and be a little bit safer. If you are going with a more like, you know, let loose realism, not real actors kind of vibe, you have to make sure and take responsibility. So, yeah.
Yeah. I will say one more funny detail that kind of came out during the story. Like you said, the producer's name wasn't Samuel something or
Sebastian or something like that.
Something, yeah. The reason why this story originally came out in 2022/2023 is because he was actually formerly married to Emily Ratajkowski, and a lot of these details came out during their divorce proceedings. So, kind of funny stuff. One more thing I want to bring up is y'all talking about journalists being unqualified. I have this clip that's hilarious. Hold up.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Hold up.
This guy.
My homie.
Bloods, sinners. What would you say?
Wait, no, I got to start from the beginning because we didn't hear the beginning. And I'm covering my dress. My bad.
I think emerging artists in this
emerging artists.
Bloods,
are you kidding
sinners? Me? What would you say an Oscar nomination would mean to you?
Man who's only seen a few movies over the last like 5-10 years.
Right. I'm like, what? What?
And then first.
Yikes, bro.
What I'm talking about. I'm not going to name specifics and things like that, but I've been on the carpet next to somebody who ends up getting clowned on Twitter that night for the question that they asked like a young actress. And when I hear those in person, I'll tell you guys after. I
think I know what you're talking about, but I got so many thoughts.
Literally sitting next to the person hearing it, and it's just like and that person wasn't a TikTok interviewer. It boggles my mind how silly these things can get now. It's like, I understand a carpet can be difficult because you maybe only have 1 to 2 questions at most, and it does move really fast, and you probably won't even get who you want to ask the most questions to. I understand that. But then for the one question you do have to be like, what's your impression of this? Or like, what do you think about this? What do you mean? You have, let's think of like recent films. You have like Rachel McAdams in Send Help, and you're asking her about like a TikTok trend. Like, she is doing something with physicality wise in this film that she's never really done in her entire career. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about something fun. Like, you can still have a fun, interesting question while still being like informative and engaging, and actually not just like slop. I think that's like, once they let complete unqualified influencers run a lot of these carpets, we have just gone so downhill because now everybody's trying to keep up with them and get a lot of retweets on Twitter for their question, even esteemed outlets.
Yeah.
Silly.
It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, people need to stop doing that. But I guess they just want to go viral so bad that they end up doing the rest.
Artists.
Yeah, that one was like, that's just being dumb.
You just don't know anything. Why are you there?
Exactly. You just like, who's this guy? I saw him in Sinners. He's cool. I'm
And
just
the
like,
Five
no,
Bloods.
no.
They're like, what? The Five Bloods is crazy. Like, that's the most
he's like,
come on, man.
That's you got to do a tiny bit of homework, just a little bit. So.
Look on that IMDb just a second. You know what I'm saying? Just for
How are you going to talk to somebody who has been like, even if you have only seen Delroy Lindo in Sinners and The Five Bloods, okay, that's fine. But how are you going to look at him and actually think in your brain that he's an emerging artist? Like, even if that's all you've seen him in. Like, do you think he just came out of the gate being just like this incredible actor and he's never worked before this, or at least never gotten like acclaim? Like, it's crazy to me. I don't know. So disrespectful that he has to sit there and hear that.
Yeah, wild. Last thing we got, you guys wanted to talk about Send Help. This is a film that unfortunately I haven't been able to check out so far, but you guys got a chance to see it. Tell me about this movie.
I was supposed to go yesterday, so this is all you, RB3. I didn't make it.
Oh, okay. Word.
Damn.
Okay,
all right,
yeah.
RB3, what you think, man?
Well, yeah, man. Okay, I'm gonna try to hopefully do something then while we do this. One second. But yeah, Send Help is the new film from the great Sam Raimi. If you know Sam Raimi's work, of course, the original Spider-Man trilogy, of course, the original
Evil
Dead trilogy as well. And he's just one of the, honestly, maybe one of the greatest horror directors we've ever seen in cinema. Horror / comedy. This one kind of fits more into the, I guess there is comedy in this too, but actually there's a lot of comedy in this. The film follows Rachel McAdams, who is she's an employee at this new job that they just keep overlooking her. The dad formerly ran a company, and her son the CEO's son just took over. The CEO being played by Dylan O'Brien, and she keeps getting passed over for a promotion. She keeps getting abused and mistreated in the workplace. Until one day she is told, "Hey, come to me to Bangkok. Come with the company to Bangkok. We're going to try to do this deal. I need your help close it." And she thinks it's this one last chance to like get her promotion. Now, unfortunately, though, the plane crashes. The plane just straight up crashes, and she is now just stuck on this island with Dylan O'Brien, with her former boss who's been mistreating her the entire movie. So what ultimately ends up happening is, they have to form somewhat, I don't know if it's an alliance, kind of an unholy alliance of like how we're going to survive together. The formerly treated employee with the dickhead boss. Also, there's a lot of misogyny at play here too, right? So like how is that dynamic going to play into her helping him? By the way, she is a huge fan of the show Survivor, so that's why she's really familiar with like a lot of these like camping and like all of these things. But yeah, it's the story itself is crazy setup, crazy premise. But when you get into the actual movie itself, it's like next level. And you kind of see that through, and the first, I did all that setup because the first 20, 30 minutes or so is a lot of setup. Like you spend a lot of time in the office place because you really got to understand like how badly she was mistreated, like how badly her coworkers treat her, how badly the boss treats her, how badly everybody kind of like treats her. So then when she does get this revenge moment and when she does get the upper hand, she is kind of living in it. Like in this clip right here.
I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley.
Oh, wait, my bad. Y'all didn't even hear that.
Let's not forget, I'm your boss. You work for me.
We're not in the office anymore, Bradley.
So it's like, yo, when she's like, yo, we are not in the office anymore. By the way, homie's injured, so he's kind of like living on a limp. But she is out there doing crazy stuff. I mean, she's out there fighting wild boar. She's out there, hunting. She's out there hiking, different explorations. And, the Sam Raimi, we've seen all kinds of containment thrillers over the years, right? Like Castaway, all these things that are like set on the island. But you got to remember, this is a Sam Raimi movie. So it's going to be hyper stylized, hyper weird, low-key scary for no reasons out of nowhere. Like there are random times when just things just jump out to the screen. You're like, what? Like this has no connection to the scene whatsoever, but it's just campy, pure fun. And seeing Rachel McAdams just really transform in this role. I mean, like you alluded to, Sabrina, like she really is doing something completely different that we've never really seen before in terms of physicality. Like again, you see her hunting that boar covered in blood, a lot of gore, a lot of blood. If you're a horror gore freak, this is your kind of movie. There's some crazy visuals in there. And it's just this like classic war of the genders, right? Like, male versus female, who's going to come out on top. And, I don't know. I don't want to say too much because there's so many amazing moments that there's so many amazing moments that I just don't want to spoil for anybody. But this has some of the craziest fight sequences, man versus nature, or in this case, woman versus nature. There's some crazy mano-a-mano fights. There's some crazy plot twists that kind of happen later on in the movie that's like, whoa, what? I did not see that coming at all. And there's a great amount of moral ambiguity to this whole situation because it is like, in one hand, you never want to see anybody get like tortured or manipulated. But when it's somebody who's been bullying, your main girl, the whole movie, she's been getting bullied. It's kind of nice seeing her get her get backs. Like it's kind of rewarding. And it don't feel good, but it is fun to watch. I'm not even kidding y'all. I did watch this movie twice. I saw it on Friday and was like, y'all love it so much. I had to tell my girl, I was like, yo, we gotta watch this. And I watched it again on Sunday. Like it was so much fun. Like honestly, I'm kind of here or there on horror movies. It's not really horror. It's more of a thriller. But there are a couple jump scares. There are a couple of those classic Sam Raimi like moments, and there is a good amount of gore in certain sections. So with that, it's I can recommend this movie more. It's so fun. It's relevant. It's psychological, but also really stylistic. Shout out also to Dennis Hayburn, who pops up in a small role. You might know him as the Allstate guy. And of course, he was in like Waiting to Exhale and all those other classic movies too. He has a small role in the very beginning of the film that's absolutely hilarious. It's great blend of comedy, horror, and thriller all the way around. Highly recommend this movie to y'all.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm excited to check it out. One thing I do want to ask, based on everything you were saying about the themes of the film, when it comes to the moral ambiguity, how'd you feel about the conclusion? RB3, you don't have to give it away, but how'd you feel the film completed itself? With a good ending?
To me, it was a great ending. It's almost, I don't want to spoil it, but the movie almost does kind of have an abrupt ending, but in a way that's like very funny. Like in a way that's like, oh man, like you kind of ended in just the perfect spot. Like, cause yeah, there a lesser movie, a lesser filmmaker than Sam Raimi would have like had the final climax be like 10 or 20 minutes too long, or it would have gone some weird direction. Like, no, they're kind of in the middle of the climax and then boom, it's just kind of over. And you're like, oh, okay, all right. Like, I'm with that. Like, it's, I love the style of it. I love the editing of it. The pace is just phenomenal. It's an hour and 51 minutes, but it honestly feels like, it feels like an episode of TV. Like, it feels like a really good, like, episode of, like, it's like a really thrilling episode of White Lotus, like, kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? Okay, maybe not White Lotus. That's kind of not a good example. But there's horror, there's thrills, but there's also fun comedy moments. There's quiet moments. And Dylan O'Brien, man, gosh dang, he's such a good actor. Like, he is such a good actor. For a movie like this, and Rachel McAdams too. This is honestly maybe Rachel McAdams' best role, like straight up, not even kidding. Like, no funny-ish. Like, the range that she has, like, it's hard playing an awkward character without being annoying, right? Playing somebody who's awkward, kind of not really fitting in with society. Like, she has some real nerdy moments. There's one moment in the film she kind of makes a face like, ah! It is like, other people would have been like, oh, you're cringe. But then, like, she makes it really funny. And it's great seeing that progression between, like, going from awkward to, like, the ultimate hero or heroine at the end. So definitely her best performance. But also Dylan O'Brien, I guess I haven't been paying enough attention to Dylan O'Brien, but gosh dang, he's so good. Like, was it Twinless that he did this year? Or?
I was just about to say, I watched Twinless today. So super funny timing. I didn't even think about that, but he was fantastic in Twinless.
Yeah, no, literally, like, I haven't watched it yet. So, I mean, I just heard he's great, but just from this film, like, he was also great as well. Like, range, there's a little, like, kind of seduction kind of little thing he tries to do a little bit in there too. It's like so many different flavors and so many different genres that are sprinkled in, and Sam Raimi is just such the master of making corny but horror at the same time. So good. I highly recommend it. I'm glad it was the #1 movie at the box office this weekend over that Melania Bullish. But this one really was like, chef's kiss. I might watch it a third time, honestly, you know?
Dope. Yeah, I love that Sam Raimi is back to being full control Sam Raimi, because obviously there's been a lot of conversations, at least directed by me, when it comes to the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie. But ironically enough, Rachel McAdams, I'm assuming that's where he met her. I don't know if he worked with her previously, but I think he might have met her. Did she work with Sam in another movie? I might have been wrong.
I don't believe so.
Yeah. It might have been Multiverse of Madness, which ironically enough, I felt was like very much, I think even Sam might have hinted at Marvel having a little too much control there, and him not being able to just go full Sam Raimi. He does in a few scenes, but overall, I think he wanted to have full edit or final edit, and he wasn't able to have it. But now that he does, I'm glad to hear that it's a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to check out this movie as soon as I can.
Yeah, it was great. And I also say, I didn't even know this movie was going to be in 3D before this weekend. I think that's maybe part of the reason why I loved it. I saw it on Friday in 3D, and I was like, yo, my God, this is maybe outside of Avatar, like top 3 3D movies I've ever seen. Like, you know, like, again, there's a scene where she's fighting the pig. The pig is literally coming at you out of the screen, like, I'm like, oh! And then I can't even imagine watching this in 40X. And then
I was just about to say, I was supposed to see it yesterday in 40X.
No way.
But I was too hungover for that. You know, RB3 saw me on Saturday, so, you know, I wasn't doing well. So I realized, because I got that Saturday night at like 3 a.m. post going out. I was still riding that high. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go see it in 40X tomorrow. And then yesterday, I'm like, I literally cannot do that. But
yeah. No. Maybe it wasn't a good move in like hungover vibe. Like, there's no
not hungover, but because I did Fantastic Four first steps in 40X when I was hungover. Harrowing experience, like scary.
I bet. Yeah, I still haven't done 40X. I want to try it for sure, but I definitely want to see this movie. That's for damn sure. So I'm excited to hear that it was actually really good. I wasn't sure. I actually haven't been keeping up too much when it comes to reviews of this movie. So happy to hear that it's a lot of fun. So
yeah, I think it has a 90% Rotten Tomatoes. I'll also say too, shout out the great Bill Pope, maybe one of the top 10 directors of photography living right now. Of course, he shot the original Spider-Man trilogy, and of course, some of my favorite Marvel movies, like you said, Multiverse of Madness, but also Shang-Chi. And this movie's just very beautiful. And The Matrix, yeah, of course, Matrix, yeah. But it's beautiful, and the 3D, like, seeing it in 3D, like, the 3D was very, very good, like, not some cheap 3D, and it still looked very colorful. The colors, palette, them being on this island, it was just really, really good. And then the contrast between the gray kind of flat office world that we see in the first 20 minutes versus like this luscious island that we kind of get exposed to. Very, very good movie. It's not some Oscar winner. It's not going to be like, you know, some transcendent thing. It's probably going to be just like any other horror movie, like, you know, in the zeitgeist. But I thought it was really good. I mean, honestly, the 2 horror movies I have seen this year, 28 years later and this one have been some of my favorite movie experiences of 2026.
Yeah, that's dope to hear. I'm excited to see a little more, but
Everything's in the future. He said these are the best of 2028.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Trying to get out this Trump shit, like.
Yeah.
What a wild episode, man. This was a lot of fun. Shout out 7,000. We did it. Now on to 8 and obviously on to 10. That's the big goal that we're gonna try and hit. Hopefully as soon as we can, because I'm assuming we can get it as soon as we can. So appreciate you guys for joining us today. RB3, where can everyone find you, man?
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Director RB3. Just a quick shout out to the chat. Joseph Ashley, a day one. Joseph Weeks, a day one. Roman Unchained tapped in.
Cool.
Congrats on 7K, y'all. This is the way. Roman Unchained is an OG, triple OG. And yeah, y'all got so many good comments in here. Oh shoot, I should have read some of these earlier. Yeah, RB3 smiling too hard. The boss must have died bad. Yeah, he died. I mean, I'm not saying anything. But Bill Pope is a fellow Michigan State alum. Yeah, that's up. Hen dog time, y'all. Hen dog time.
Oh, there you go. Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
You can follow me on TikTok and Twitter at Sabrina on Film, and then Instagram at Sabrina.onfilm.
And you can find me everywhere at Squad Leader Ace, obviously on social media as well at Squad Leader Ace. Make sure you follow Sabak the Block. Sabak the Block, if you haven't done so already, make sure you tune in Thursday night. This Thursday, we're going to have another very special guest. And make sure you subscribe and tune into that. Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we're going to be peacing out. So peace, deuces.
This ain't funny, so don't you dare laugh. With the 4/5 divide you in half. You getting at me equals a club half.